Alright, this is a first video of a kind for me, I suppose, because I've never really done a YouTube review, nor have I really taken a whole lot of time to prepare for something like this. But the reason I wanted to set up this video tonight for you guys is I wanted to talk about this specific watch that I have in front of the camera. I wanted to talk about the Armida A4. And the reason being is when I was shopping for this watch, there don't seem to be any really detailed videos about it. There's not a whole lot of information in one place about this watch. So I'm going to talk about the very basics. I'm not going to get into too many details about this watch that you guys already don't know. But what I want to talk about is the likes, dislikes, basic expectations when you get this watch, and things like that. So I guess let's get started and kind of see how it goes. And you guys can post any questions you have in the comments or whatever have you. So first things first, I have the watch here laid out on the table with me. I kind of put a couple of things out here. I put the bracelet that comes with it. It's actually a really nice stainless bracelet. Your typical diver kind of bracelet. There's this little pin that unlocks, and then you have the bracelet open up. Pretty standard fare. I don't really know the technical terms for this type of bracelet. It also comes with the rubber strap that I like. We'll talk about the rubber strap and the bracelet a little bit more going forward, because there's a couple of points I would like to make about each. Also included in the case was the tool. Hopefully you guys can see it okay here. Basically the tool to change your bracelet and to go from the bracelet to the strap. So that was really nice. That was really thoughtful. I personally didn't have this tool in my possession, so this was a really cool thing. And in the back you can see this heavy thick plastic, I don't know, it's not, I can't call it a box. It's like this tube that this watch ships in, and it's encased in this styrofoam packaging inside, so it's very secure, very quick. Speaking of shipping, I ordered it, and the watch comes from Hong Kong, for those of you who don't know, and it came 2 business days via FedEx, and there's no charge for shipping when you buy the watch. I thought it was great. Shipping was extremely fast, and I didn't have to pay any other international fees or anything like that. Haven't had to deal with any of it. So let's get into this thing. First the very basics. This is a pretty big watch. It's a 44 millimeter case diameter. But I think, to me, and I'm going to use this tool as a pointer, I guess, but to me the biggest measurement that really changed, I don't want to say changes, but the measurement that matters most to me is the lug to lug. So when you look at from the end of this lug to the end of this lug is 54 millimeters. And where it really matters, the first thing I noticed is on my 6.75 inch wrist, that's about the max size watch that I could do without it hanging the lugs over my wrist and kind of looking ridiculous. The watch itself is heavy. I don't remember the number of grams that it weighs, but with the bracelet, it's literally almost like 8 ounces, like something like half a pound. And that's one of the reasons I've removed the bracelet. And as I mentioned earlier, I want to segue into that section now and talk about the bracelet. It's great, but to me, bracelets really never felt all that comfortable. I think adjusting them just never got it just right for some reason. They always feel itchy to me, and I've always been partial to rubber straps, so I switched that out. But I think it looks great. I don't think it looks bad at all. I don't think it really detracts anything from the watch. It still has a lot of wrist presence. It still has a lot of, definitely not pop, that's not the right word for it, but I think wrist presence is going to be the most descriptive. It is a great feeling watch, and rubber strap does not take away from it at all. It's well done, well executed. A few small details about this specific piece. Some of you may ask if I ordered, or why didn't I order it with a domed crystal. It comes with a really, really high dome crystal. You can see mine on this watch is flat. Really a personal preference as well. I didn't want to have this really high domed crystal because I'm kind of rough on my watches, and you know, some of my G-Shocks have been pretty beat on over the last few years, but you know, never really any problems with the crystals, but just the cases get beat up. And I felt like with the protruding high dome crystal, even though it's sapphire, I was just gonna beat it up and it was gonna get destroyed, and I would be kind of upset about it. So I figured I'd avoid it, not mess with it, not deal with it. And frankly, I don't regret it. I really didn't, you know, wasn't sold on the aesthetics either. But some people like it. If you look on the forums, you know, some people really prefer the high domed crystal. But you know, you pick your own. I think you can't really go wrong with either or. If you're careful with your stuff, if you're not apt to destroy your watch, I think you'll be just fine. So going back to the details, why did I buy this? Right, I think that's really the question that really defines the whole purpose of this video, is why did I buy this watch? To me, it was a congruence and a couple of factors. Number one is aesthetics. I really like the way this watch looks. I like the weight. I like the balance. I like that it's a screwed-in crown. I like the 2,000-meter water resistance, although, you know, I'll be glad if it's only 200-meter water resistance, honestly, because I'll never use it to its full potential. I like the fact that it came with a rubber strap. I like the fact that it comes with a tool. I love the fact that it comes with an ETA, what is it, 2836-2 movement. It's a date movement. It's really nothing that I disliked about it on paper. It ticked all my boxes. I wanted a mechanical. I wanted an ETA movement. I wanted this particular size. I felt like I have a binnacle. I have a binnacle diver. I have a Bernhardt, and actually, just to pull it out here to show you guys, this watch is a, put it on this side here. This watch is a 42 millimeter case, but it wears so much smaller here, so you can see it a little bit better. It wears so much smaller for some reason, and even though I like it, I like the blue, I like the sunburst dial, I wanted a watch that's a little bit larger, a little bit bigger. You know, like I said, my wrists are pretty small. They're 6.75 inch wrists, but you know, overall I'm a tall guy, and I just really don't like a small case to watch. Again, personal preference, no big deal. So, to sum up all the positives, everything that I feel so far after wearing it for a day or so, I like the steel bracelet, but I love the rubber bracelet. The strap, I think it's perfect for me. It's perfect for what I like. I like how quickly the watch shipped. I like other mechanical specifics, the ETA movement, and it's a workhorse movement. I think it'll be great. The luminous watch is, by the way, it's not the C3. I need to look it up. I wasn't prepared with all the specs. I didn't write all the stuff down, but I think it's BGW9 or something like that. And of course, you know, you guys will probably correct me in the comments, and perfectly fine, because I am totally unprepared, right? But yeah, it's so much better than actually the Bernhardt. It's much brighter, even without charging the lume prior to going into a dark room or something like that. I love the lume. I like the case, like I said. I like the design. I like the bezel. I love the dials. There's really not anything that I don't like about this watch. If I were to give it a negative, because I guess I kind of have to, there's really no such thing as a perfect watch, right? There's no such thing as perfect anything. Is I feel that it's pretty thick. I think the thickness of the case is about 17.5 or something like that millimeter. So you do feel that it's on your wrist. It may not be a negative to you. It may be something you like. Maybe you like a watch that's substantial and a watch that you always know is there. It's not a deal breaker to me. Like I said, I like the presence of the watch itself, but it's definitely pretty chunky. It's definitely pretty large. So maybe if the case were a little bit thinner, it'll be awesome without detracting from the rest of the watch. But tiny little gripe, tiny little gripe. So, and that's about the only negative thing that I want to say about it so far, based on me having a couple of days. So, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I hope that this helped. I hoped maybe to put out a video that's perhaps not the greatest, video log, whatever you want to call it, review ever, but hopefully it helps somebody. Thanks.